Hello, and today we're looking at DJI's Osmo Mobile 2. Okay, so let's get straight in and see what you get in the box. So, spoiler alert, I have already opened this so I can charge it up. But in the box, you will get warranty instruction manuals. You probably won't need the instructions, it's fairly self-explanatory and everything's in the app. And otherwise, you just get a really big polystyrene box, which is cool for protection, but it is massive for what you actually get. And in the box, all you get is a USB cable for charging and the Osmo itself, and silica gel packet to keep it dry. Once we get it out of the box, initial impressions are that it is really quite light. Let's get rid of the box. It's really quite light. To be honest, it feels a bit plasticky. What the material they've used is, it feels cheap, but then they have half the price of the original Osmo Mobile. There's a few changes, so they've got rid of a grip, which used to be located here, and there's also a trigger button on the back. That has, however, been replaced with a USB charging point, so the battery in here can be used to charge any mobile device via USB whilst you're on the go, and that's not a bad thing. The Osmo Mobile 2 can now also be used to film in portrait, so you can get your Instagram stories looking perfectly stabilised, which is a nice addition, and the original mobile Osmo could not do that.
But before we can record anything, we need to install the handset in the Osmo grip and get it balanced. The process is pretty simple, but finding the balancing point can be a little tricky to begin with. There are two adjustments to find the balancing point, one by sliding the phone within the clamp itself, and one by moving the arm either towards the body of the Osmo or away from it. When balanced, the phone should stay in the same position regardless of where you move it to when the device is powered off.
Another nice addition of the Osmo Mobile 2 is they have included a little tripod mount at the bottom, which means you can mount it on pretty much any tripod, which is quite useful, and that is something I will be doing right about now, so I can show you all the features of the app whilst it's sat here in front of me. Let's go! Okay, so now we are recording on my iPhone. As you can see, we are in the DJI Go app, and I just wanted to show you a few other features within the app. So my favourite one is the face tracking, which is down here in the left. All you got to do is click on my nose, and then it will follow me wherever I go, which is pretty sweet. I like this one. This is one of my favourite features. Up here you can switch to photo and video. You've got your Bluetooth connection up here, and then you've also got your gimbal connection just there. So on the right hand side, you've got your home button, which takes you back to the home. I need a firmware update on this. If you pop back into the camera, we've got the settings. You've got cameras and all sorts of different gimbal settings and calibrations and all sorts of fun things within there. You've got the camera, so you can change your resolution, so we can go up to 1920 by 1080. There is no 60 frames per second, unfortunately. You can also beautify, so beautify, normal, there we go, we'll beautify me now, why not? There you go. Boom. Right. So again, white balance, same as Mavic Pro, you've got all of the different white balance settings, so I'll just leave that as auto. You can also flip the camera around there, so there is my lovely sofa. It's very exciting, I know. And then in the bottom left, you can see anything you've taken before. There's a quick shot I took earlier when I was just playing around. So that's pretty much the app. Oh, I missed the most important features. So the cool things you can do with the video mode, you've got standard, which is what we're using now. This is just takes a video and it will stabilize if you are moving around. You've got time lapse, which is, it shows you a little video of what to do there. You quite simply just hit time lapse and away it goes. That's a stationary time lapse. You then have a hyperlapse. I haven't clicked on this, I have already clicked on this, so you don't get the preview, but essentially you can use this by walking down the street to produce something like this. It's pretty cool, I quite like it. And the last one is motion lapse. So essentially you take a photo first. So let's move it over there. that one and then move it back over there. Tap that one and next and start. So then that goes back to where I took my first photo. It will then slowly move across and it will take a photo as it moves along to the point where it hits the last photo that I took, and away it goes. And then if we flip over to the photo icon in the top left, it gives you a few more options. Nothing that exciting really. So you've got timers on single shot, so 2 seconds, 5 seconds and 10 seconds. And you've also got long exposure, one for light trails I think, and one just for normal long exposure.
Now obviously I can't share with you all the features of the DJI Osmo within the walls of my house, so I've got out and about to share with you a few hacks, tips and tricks that you might be able to use it for to improve your filmmaking. Obviously at the moment I am filming on my phone without gimbal stabilization, so if I stop and add the stabilization to it, we'll see how much of a difference it makes for vlogging. Okay, and now we are filming on the DJI Osmo Mobile. And I must admit, it's a hell of a lot smoother. I can see that on the footage already. It's quite easy to set up, and I found that if you use face tracking in this, for some reason it seems to get itself in a bit of a tiz. So I'm not currently using it because it just gets a bit messy, but this is quite good for vlogging, and yeah, I mean, I couldn't ask for any more. It feels really natural. It's quite nice to have a big handle to hold onto as opposed to just hold the phone. I think this is marvellous. Anyway, on to the reason why I've brought you down to the woods. Now, I wanted to share with you a quick hack, a use for the Osmo Mobile that you may not have thought of otherwise. So, I'm a fan of drones, and I'd love to fly a drone in the woods, but obviously there's lots of things like branches and trees and stuff which are going to destroy a drone. So you can use the Osmo Mobile to fake a drone shot. Here's how. So for this, it's really quite simple. You need an Osmo and a tripod. Simply extend the tripod to its full length. That is my tripod at full length. Mount the Osmo on the end. Make sure it is nice and secure. And then quite simply, you're going to hold it by the very end and then flow it up in the air, and it will look like a drone shot. And for hack number 2, I wanted to show you how to do a dolly zoom with the Osmo Mobile. And for this we need a wide open space, so I'm here in a local playing field and a subject, and I think we'll just use my camera because that's what I've got on me. So here goes. All you need to do is walk towards your subject, keeping the camera as steady as you can, which is where the Osmo comes in. In post-production, you simply need to zoom into the footage initially and slowly zoom out as you walk towards your subject. This creates the stretched background effect you see here. So there you have it, that's how you do a dolly zoom, really quite simple, and the gimbal makes it so much easier. And I must admit, although I don't normally vlog like this, with the Osmo I'm actually quite enjoying it. Now let's put this thing through its paces and see what the gimbal can actually really do if we put it into sort of an action-packed scenario. So in a true British style, it's been raining for the rest of the day, but as the night is drawing in, we finally got our hands on a dog to chase with a drone. Let's get into it.
So having spent time with DJI's latest Osmo Mobile, I've actually been really impressed with it. It does everything you can expect it to when wandering around and panning and doing the kind of stuff that I'm doing here, maybe up, down, that kind of stuff. And the inbuilt face detection and face detection for length is awesome. Like, they've got that bang on. The hyperlapse and motion lapse and all that kind of stuff as well, again, is absolutely bang on. The only thing that lets it down, we saw when I was doing the stuff with the dog, you get like this kind of rolling shutter, kind of juddery motion effect when you're really pushing it through its paces. I think That is because the iPhone has both optical and digital stabilization inbuilt with it. And I guess they're kind of like trying to fight against the gimbal to try and stabilize the footage, and then you get this pretty crappy effect, which makes your footage look pretty amateurish. That's a bit of a shame. It's unfortunate that DJI haven't given you the option to turn off digital stabilization in their app. Maybe that's something that can come along in the future. But all in all, I think they've done a smashing job with the Mobile 2, and they've managed to half the price. So yeah, it might feel a little bit plasticky on the surface, but you also get that awesome charging port as well, so never run out of battery. And you also get a 15-hour usage on the gimbal, which again is awesome. So for any of you vloggers out there, or just amateur filmmakers, I can highly recommend this. I think if you mainly film action kind of shots, maybe the GoPro Karma might be a better option. But for everyday use, this thing is smashing. So I'll leave you with that. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that subscribe button for more videos that are up and coming. I've also got some more car stuff coming as well, which is pretty cool considering we are a car and technology channel. If you enjoyed the review, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.
There goes a sight from my soul.